Mhm, 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 mhm. Hello, good evening. Hello, and welcome to the live show. So I'm looking at my phone. There's a on Instagram recently. There's a somebody's created a Natsuki fan club on Instagram. I don't know who's done it, but it's quite good actually. There you go. If you don't know, if you haven't seen it, there you go. Natsuki fan club. I think yeah, just type in Natsuki fan club. It will come up. If it's someone on Patreon that's made this, let me know because it's quite cool. The imagery. Look at that. Natsuki is the moon. There's Natsuki in all sorts of weird positions. There's this. Don't know what's going on there. Someone holding up Natsuki's face. It's quite impressive actually. Although there's a real sense of pressure now that I've found it because they've got a time, a kind of a clock going. 39 days to Natsuki the movie. It's like 35 days to Natsuki the movie. 36 days to Natsuki the movie with Natsuki coffee. So I've got a real sense of pressure because Natsuki the movie isn't coming out in 36 days, although it's coming out in more like 50, 60 days, I think. So yeah, it's a real sense of pressure. But anyway, it's cool. If you are the secret genius behind this Instagram, let me know. Otherwise, I've got to find out who it is because it's cool. I want to know who's doing it. And yeah, I'm going to do something nice. I'm not. It sounds like I'm going to do something terrible when I find them, but yeah, I'm going to thank them and pat them on the back. Anyway, hello guys, good to see you wherever you are in the world, whether it's evening in Asia, afternoon in Europe, or morning in America. In fact, I feel sorry for anyone in the kind of the far west coast of America who probably can't watch this because they're still tucked away in bed. But where are you from? Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comment section. Let us know. And I'm going to start by diving into the news. I've got lots of questions. You've sent in some of your best questions yet this month. Here we are. And as always, I'm going to kick off with the news. So, the news. What's been going on this month in the world of abroad in Japan? Well, first off, we did the NHK World video. I think I told you about that. I did mention it. NHK World, the kind of BBC of Japan, got me in to present something. And it went pretty well, I think. Generally, I think it went well as far as I could tell. Although I don't really know. They brought me into this rural town called Soroka in Yamagata Prefecture, and they got me talking about food and stuff. And I didn't really know what I was talking about. It was a bit of a lost in translation moment. They put me in front of the camera, and they were like, "Yeah, do this," and I was going for it, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, more feeling," and I'd be like, "What do you mean more fucking feeling?" And they're like, "Yeah, more intensity." I don't know what you're on about. I don't know what you want from me. But anyway, I think it went well. Time will tell. And it comes out on August 25th. So I'll let you know about that. Let's see where we've got people from. We've got viewers from Germany, Skegness, good lord, Slovenia, rainy Leicester, Kent, Liverpool, Australia, what's that? Oh, right, Scotland, Birmingham again, Sockland. You're gonna have to elaborate on that. Australia. Yeah, it's got a nice range of places. Thanks for joining in. Next on the agenda, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, we also went to Sapporo. Natsuki and I went to Sapporo to make a video for the Japan National Tourism Organization. They kind of helped fund it. It wasn't. I wouldn't call it sponsored. They kind of gave us a subsidy to go and film in Hokkaido, and that went well. We got this along the way. We went to this kind of chocolate factory, although it wasn't a chocolate factory, it was a cookie factory. And Natsuki insisted that we got this biscuit tin made. And yeah, as you can see, Natsuki's on the biscuit tin, and it's pretty weird. He wanted to sell it as merchandise, but I didn't share his vision on that. But yeah, nice enough. There you go. And Sapporo was awesome. Sapporo took me by surprise. Loved it. Awesome place. On the subject of merchandise, that isn't going to be merchandise, thank God. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even going to consider that. That merchandise is going well. I think I did a post on Patreon last week where you can see the new T-shirt designs. I've been working with a really awesome guy, a viewer of the channel called David, who's lost somewhere in the comments section. I saw him earlier. So we're working on that and got some really good designs, which should be coming out in late August. I've just ordered them. I've just ordered some samples. They're coming to me now, and I'm going to let you know if they're good or not when they arrive. But yeah, hopefully they're good. Until now, the merchandise has been not that great, really. So I'm really excited to actually have stuff that I'm proud to wear. And also, not just t-shirts. There's going to be like fucking cushions, notepads, all kinds of weird stuff. So hopefully there's something for everyone in there. And the merchandise is really important because obviously a lot of the money raised for the merchandise goes to Natsuki. So that's a really important thing for me. I'm trying to help him out however I can with the whole YouTube thing. In fact, that's kind of the subject of Natsuki the movie, which is also going well. Editing that, and we've just got to film the opening. Not the opening. We've got to film the ending of the documentary, and that's going to be intense. Someone sent me a question asking if we're ever going to see Natsuki's elusive beauty salon, where which he owns and works in and lives in, whatever. And it's going to be a pretty big part of the Natsuki the movie. So you'll get to see Natsuki's workplace once and for all, and Natsuki's kind of life. So it's a bit hard though. I'm trying to make it so that it's not interesting just to viewers of this channel and people that know and love Natsuki and enjoy him already. I want it to be kind of fun for anyone. You know, I want people to be able to watch it and get stuck into it. So that's a bit of a challenge, trying to balance it, loyalty to fans and kind of making it new and original and in a way that anybody can enjoy it. So yeah, it's a nice balancing act. But we've got loads of weird, crazy footage, as you've seen in the trailer. So yeah, that's coming up. And this week has been a hard week. I gave up caffeine, which was no easy thing to do. If you have any, the reason I gave up caffeine is for health reasons. I did a post on Twitter saying I'd given up caffeine, and nearly everyone said, "Why would you do that? Why would you do such a thing?" Which is a legitimate question. Why would you give up caffeine, right? But it's for health reasons. Whenever I drink anything with caffeine in, I get really bad heartburn. I don't want to go into details, pretty boring, but it's like drinking fire, which is shit because I drink like 3 coffees every day. Which is probably the reason I have this medical problem anyway. But anyway, I have to give up caffeine. So it's been a really hard week because without caffeine, my head doesn't really work. Like any creativity, it just doesn't happen. Nothing works. And any of you guys, if you're an avid coffee drinker, you'll be able to empathise with me there, I think. But I turned to you for some advice. I asked you guys in the on the post on Patreon, do you have any tips for waking up without caffeine? Because it's been the hardest thing. The 2 problems with giving up caffeine: 1, waking up is impossible. 2, it actually makes you feel a little bit depressed. You feel like you can't. I don't know. I feel like I can't do anything. The last few days, I've just kind of sat there and gone, "Oh, shit, life," and I haven't felt much joy. Although it's kind of got better over the last 4 or 5 days, but giving up caffeine is difficult. I'm thinking of making a video series about it. But these are some of your advice. If you have any advice on how to wake up without caffeine, let me know in the comments section. But these are some of the things you've said. We've got a recent science article suggests that eating an apple has a similar effect on the brain to drinking coffee, likely due to sugar. Not a bad idea. I have a fitness freak friend who says the best way to wake up is to down a pint of water after you wake up. That's a good idea. Actually, I do that every morning anyway. Half a pint. I can't fucking talk. Half a pint of water, a whole lemon, ice, and then bam, you wake up. Hire a crazy man to scream in your face. Is that a viable solution? Could get Natsuki to do it, I suppose. But put some food by your bed. When you wake up, you'll be motivated to eat it, and hence you'll wake up. Yes, that's how it works, isn't it? Yeah. I think this is my favourite one. I use this alarm clock. Oh dear. Oh, my talking in the evening. Alarm clock. I use this alarm clock called Clocky. Each morning, it makes an absurd amount of noise and has wheels that it uses to literally run around the room until you click the stop button. The adrenaline rush from chasing the damn thing means you're wide awake and no longer need coffee. That is Clocky. And I looked it up on YouTube, actually. It looks tacky as shit. It looks like just 2 wheels and a really cheap alarm clock. And when it goes off, it just kind of rolls around the room. I might get one. It is tempting. I did find that the best way to get out of bed instead of pressing the snooze button, is to put your alarm clock the other side of the room, and that really helps. But yeah, Clocky. There you go, Clocky. What have you guys come up with? Cold shower, how to wake up in the morning, get your girlfriend to slap you with one of those electric bug zappers. Is that safe? Is that safe, Sean? Is it? Lots of cold water. Yep, cold water. Alarm cock sounds unpleasant. Yes. I set myself up there, didn't I? Alarm cock. Then again, maybe there's a erotic alarm clock product to be made out of that idea. Yeah. Clocky. All right. That's enough of your ideas on that. And the final thing in the news. Oh yeah. This is. I don't know why this is even on my net. This is a thing. I'm working on a new another one of those crazy Japanese English videos, and I've been looking for products recently with weird English on them, which isn't too difficult to do if you live in Japan. The reason I did this because I was walking the other day down the street and I saw a clothes shop, and there was a sign, a big banner sign sticking out the front of the shop for this clothes shop, and it just said sperm, and I thought, fucking hell, sperm. There's no relevance at all. From what I understand, the owner of this clothes shop literally just went, what can I do to get my shop attention? I know, I'll call it sperm. That's what happened. And so since then, I've been working on another Japanese English video. And I saw this oven glove with just this kind of poetic English on. It says, what does it say? This is me. This is me. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. What's your favourite colour? I love that. They've got this profound, nonsensical paragraph that makes you kind of think and feel. And then they've just got, what's your favourite colour at the end of it? What is it with products in Japan doing that? I don't get it. What is their obsession? But for the record, my favourite colour is the red oven glove. I've got two. So yeah, they're going to be in a video. And that's the show and tell bit of the video over. Ben says, I bet you went into that sperm shop. No, I didn't actually. I'm actually too scared to go in. It's this clothes shop is on the second story of a building. It's like a really dingy small shop, like the size of that room there. And yeah, I'm actually kind of scared to go in. But I should. I definitely should. All right. So let's dive into your questions, guys. You've sent in some really good questions this week. And while I'm reading through, do feel free to interrogate me and ask questions away in the comment section. So let's see. Question number 1. Is it cheap enough in Japan to eat out every single day? No. But you can eat out. You can eat out comfortably like 3 or 4 times a week, which is literally nearly all the week, isn't it? I think I eat out about 3 times a week these days. When I first moved here, I used to eat out like every day because I couldn't cook or anything. And then in the second year, when I was teaching, I became healthy and started buying things like salad, whatever that is, and kind of having dishes and cooking myself that were really simple, kind of crappy dishes. It was just basically chicken and salad. But I do eat out quite a lot. I think it's probably more expensive in Japan eating out than it is in, say, America, in the US, or Canada maybe. Maybe on par with the UK. For example, getting a bowl of ramen, you're looking at about 700 yen on average, which is about $7, I think. McDonald's, which I did eat this evening, I was in a rush. Sorry, I did eat McDonald's today. That cost about $6, 600 yen. So yeah, though you wouldn't be eating McDonald's every day. I'd say the average price of a good meal in Japan, though, you're looking at around $7 or $8. So it is possible, but yeah, I try not to do it anymore just because of health. Right? I'm not the healthiest person. That's no secret, and so I try and eat in and try and eat as much as I can. As I said, I think I mentioned before, I've started eating fucking oatmeal every morning. At first, it was a fate worse than death, eating what is essentially bird food. But now I actually really like it because I've discovered if you cover it in maple syrup or honey, it's actually really good. So yeah, oatmeal. That's the secret. And you don't feel hungry for half the day once you've had a bowl of it. So it saves you a lot of money. And I've actually lost weight in the last month since having it. I've lost like 2 kilograms, I think, just by eating oatmeal every morning. So yeah. Yeah, I think you can eat out 3 or 4 times a week on a English teacher's salary in Japan, definitely. Yeah. What have we got here? Lots of conversation still about this sperm shop. That's encouraging. That means it's going to go down well when I put it in the video. All right. Next question, has your family ever come to visit you in Japan? Says Raymond. My sister, actually, the only person from my family that's come to visit in 5 years, only one person, God, that's depressing, is my sister. She was having a hard time at school. She's 6 years younger than me. And I think she was being bullied or something. I can't remember. She was having a tough time. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. And I took like a month's salary and spent it on her to come to Japan. I paid for her to come to Japan for a week because while she shouldn't have really done that. In the UK, you're not allowed to take time off school like that. But I felt like she was in a really bad place. I just wanted to get her the fuck out of there, and kind of culture shock her and show her somewhere awesome to try and take her mind off it. So I brought her to Japan for 1 week, and she absolutely loved it. I think she was about 16 or 17 at the time. And she loved it. And it changed her life, actually. It really seems to have changed her thinking, because ever since then, she's had a real interest in Asia and traveling. And recently she's been around Southeast Asia. So it seems, traveling really is a powerful thing. It can really change your thinking. And I certainly encourage it to anyone, especially if you're under your 20s. I think it can have a real impact on your thinking, the way you kind of choose your path in life. And that's why I really encourage people to do it. Anyone under 30, if you haven't really got a good sense of direction or you're feeling miserable every day, get a plane ticket and just go to the other side of the world and do something for a month, and it might just change your life. But it certainly changed hers. So that was a good idea. Glad she came to Japan. Did she meet Natsuki? Says Jordan. She did meet Natsuki. I think that probably changed her life. But we went to karaoke, and she loved that. I remember it quite well, actually. I brought her all the way up to North Japan, to middle of nowhere. 1 minute she's in London, the next minute she's in a bloody rice field in the middle of nowhere, singing in karaoke with Natsuki. So that was pretty cool. That was really good memory. So yeah. Mike says, you say that, but since I got back from Thailand, I feel like I left my soul there. Yeah, that's the only downside. I think if you meet anyone who's lived or stayed somewhere for a long time, or just traveled somewhere that really profoundly affected them, then they don't want to go back. And you feel, I know I went back to the UK for a few months in between being a teacher and then becoming a full-time YouTuber. And I did feel a bit like part of me is not there, and that's kind of sad and scary. So that's the downside to living abroad. I think you'll find that part of you is always there. And even now, even though I don't live in the place I used to live when I was an English teacher for 3 years, I live 3 hours away on the other side of Japan. I still feel like a part of me is kind of there in that small town with all my friends and all the memories and stuff. I live in Sendai, as you probably know. I live in Sendai, the biggest city in Tohoku in North Japan. But in many ways, I still feel like I don't fit in here. I haven't made much of an effort to make friends in Sendai, usually because I'm so damn busy or I'm often traveling around. But I find it a lot more difficult to fit in a big city than I did in the countryside. I felt like I had a place there, and it was a lot easier to build up a kind of community of friends. You go into a restaurant or bar, and the owner would know who you are because it's not a big town. Whereas here, you go in the same restaurant every week, and they still don't know who you are, or they won't remember you or anything. So, yeah. My advice to anyone who's coming to Japan, if you're like a teacher or something, if you're coming to work as an English teacher, I would recommend going to the countryside. Make sure you try and get a place in the countryside, because it's much easier to fit in. You'll have better memories, as far as I'm concerned, and you'll just have a better time. And I think living it. Someone in the comment section with a really long name, Teresias Prufrock, that is a name. It says it's impossible to fit in Tokyo. I don't think it's impossible to fit in, but I think you find that despite being in the world's biggest city, 38 million people. A lot of people in Tokyo that I know are still pretty depressed. They feel quite isolated. The nature of Japan is that when you walk down the street or you're sitting in a cafe or a bar or a coffee shop or whatever, people won't really talk to you. Like it's much more. It's far less common to have people kind of talk to you, and it's good in some ways in that you don't get interrupted. But on the other hand, it's kind of sad because you miss that kind of connection, and so people in Japan are kind of keep their distance. So it's good and bad, but in a big city, it can make you feel pretty lonely and isolated. So yeah, that's why it's kind of the reason I don't live in Tokyo, I think. Not that I was much better here in Sendai. But all right. I have to say that Japan gave me the worst case of wanting to come back I've had in my life after our vacation last year. I don't know if that's worst case of you wanted to come back or you didn't want to come back. That's confusing. Yeah, I don't know. Do you sometimes feel isolated being a full-time YouTuber rather than having a normal job to go to every day? Says left handshake. Yeah, I do actually. It's a problem I've really got at the moment, which I don't talk about it. But being a YouTuber, you spend a lot of your time isolated, not really involved with other people, and I do that. I do feel a bit isolated, editing alone in a room 4 or 5 days a week. It can be quite a lonely thing. On the other hand, I do get to go out and meet a lot of people and have lots of interesting, fun experiences. So it's a double-sided coin, really, but it's definitely an issue. I do feel like I wish I had people to work with. I've been thinking recently if there's a way I could kind of take the YouTube channel to the next level and actually have an office and, well, not an office, but have a workspace with different people and stuff. But yeah, then it gets more expensive and less viable. But yeah, it's a lonely life being a YouTuber sometimes. But I can't complain. It's a good life nonetheless. Let's see. Next question. What is the best coffee chain in Japan? You have to ask that, don't you? Knowing full well that I can't drink coffee. The best coffee chain in Japan, for my money, is Tully's Coffee. Tully's. I think it's the American chain. Tully's. Just because the interior is really nice, but if you are ever in Japan and you need power, if you need a power cable or something, Tully's Coffee, wherever you are in Japan, they've got power cables. So if you need to charge up your phone before a BBC News interview, or you want to charge up your laptop or whatever, Tully's Coffee or Starbucks, but Tully's Coffee is my favourite. And Excelsior is pretty good as well, mainly because of whenever I see the coffee chain Excelsior, it reminds me of South Park. So yeah, Tully's Coffee. You need to hire a female assistant. I hear if you don't use it, you lose it. Crude, very brilliant. Yes, I used to work in Tully's Coffee, though it converted to a Starbucks. Shit, traitors. Yeah, no, Tully's Coffee, that's where it's at. I was actually there just before doing this. Tully's Coffee, McDonald's, abroad in Japan live interview thing. It's my evening. And while I was at Tully's Coffee, I didn't drink coffee. I had a fruit yogurt thing. It's like a yogurt with orange juice in. Exciting lifestyle of a YouTuber. Next question. Is it possible, oh God, is it possible to learn Japanese in 3 months, not 6 months? Is it possible to learn Japanese in 3 months if I study 5 to 6 hours a day? I think it depends what level you are at. If you're doing Japanese from day one, 3 months, it's not enough really, is it? I mean, I got a lot of flack for my video a few years ago, which has done really well. A video called Speaking Japanese Fluently in 6 Months, 6 Tips to Success. There was a lot of number 6s in it. That video did really well. But I also got a lot of criticism from people because is it realistic learning Japanese in 6 months? It's been 2-3 years since I made that video, but I still stand by everything I said in it. I do believe with a clear strategy that I kind of outlined in the video, it is possible, but there's one factor people overlook. I did have a gun to my head in that video. I used the analogy to have a gun to your head, right? And I think you would need a gun to your head to really pull it off because you need that motivation. If you had a gun to your head, you'd be working 10, 11 hours every day. You'd be doing everything you could to be fluent, and you'd be following that strategy, that plan to the letter, and that is the only way you can do it. 3 months is not realistic, but in 3 months with 5 or 6 hours every day, you can still learn a heck of a lot. You can really lay down the groundwork, and you can have basic conversation, and that will make all the difference if you're coming to Japan to work here or to travel. So yeah, I still give it a shot. And the best thing about that speaking fluently Japanese 6 months video is it's made, I get a lot of comments from people who watched it and feel a sense of hope, because with learning Japanese, it's a language that from the start it seems impossible, it seems incredibly difficult, and so that video gave a sense of hope. So and I know for a fact that people have watched it and then actually gone on to learn and used it as a sense of motivation. So there you go. So essentially, says Jordan, I need to hire a hitman to kill me if I don't nail it in 6 months. Yes, exactly. That's it, Jordan. Spend your hard-earned money to hire someone to put a gun to your head, and then you'll be fluent at Japanese. Well, I don't know if you'll be fluent, but it's quite a risky strategy, isn't it? But yeah, no, I still stand by that anyway. Next question. If one of us, these questions are so random, I love it. If one of us were to meet you in person, how would you like us to react? Would you prefer high energy or a friendly smile and a handshake? Have you had any negative encounters so far? And that is a question from Chip Butterman. I really hope that's your name. Like, it sounds a bit like a joke name, Chip Butterman. But on the other hand, it sounds like a name that could actually be real. So yeah, if it's real, fucking good name. Anyway, Chip Butterman. If you were to meet me in person, just be normal. I've had some really awkward situations. I had 2 encounters in Sapporo last week. One encounter I talked about in the article that I wrote on Patreon, which was the guy working at the hotel who I'd spoken to online. That was a really nice encounter. We had a good conversation. Lovely thing. The second encounter I had in Sapporo, Natsuki and I were in this restaurant trying some beer. I think it was the Sapporo Beer Museum. And I was sat there with Natsuki. We just ordered our drink. We were having a drink. And someone came up behind me, I'm not even joking, and just grabbed me over the shoulders and came into whispered into my ear and said, "Have I got a story for you?" And I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was like the scariest fucking moment. I literally just drinking my beer. Whoa. Oh yeah, hi. And it was a nice lady, woman from Canada, from Vancouver, I think, and her daughter. And she said, "Have I got a story for you? We were just watching your videos yesterday evening, and we just said, wouldn't it be crazy if he walked into the room? And you did. You walked into the room." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's quite a coincidence. That is quite cool." So fair play to her. I suppose it was a bit of a shock, but not half as shocking as having someone come up to you and just grab you. I didn't mind. I found it quite funny, and she was nice. Her daughter was nice, and yeah, it was. And they had a nice picture with Natsuki. It was a lovely moment, but still, it's kind of crazy. I've noticed people from. I think I read somewhere before that people in North America, Canada, are much more likely to go up to someone if they know them, like a famous celebrity or something, to go up to them and ask for their autograph or a picture or something. Whereas in the UK, it's not as common. We kind of, I don't know, maybe we're more polite. We don't want to go up to someone and just say hello, whatever. But I've noticed it's usually people from North America who come up and say hi, which is good. I don't mind. Whenever I meet people, I enjoy it. It's great. I mean, I've met quite a lot of people this year, especially in Tokyo. And especially in Tokyo, if I walk down the street, people will say hello. One time I was on a subway train going from, I think, Asakusa to Shibuya. And I got on the train and a girl came on and said, "Hi, Chris, how you doing?" And it's great. I've seen your videos. And I was like, "Oh, great. Yeah, sit down. Let's chat." We sat down, started talking. Next stop, someone else got on, another foreigner, and was like, "Oh my God, wow, I've just watched your video." And they sat down on the other side. And by the time I got to Shibuya, there was like 3 foreigners sat around me on this fucking underground train talking to me. It was like an impromptu meetup going on, which is quite fun. The creepiest encounter I had was in, I think it was in Shinjuku. Walking through the sheet. I was walking through the sheet in Shinjuku, and I was in a hurry. I was running for a business meeting. I was a bit late, and this guy was coming towards me and just shouted, "Oh my God, Chris Broad, Chris!" And I was like, "Oh, hi, yeah, good to see you." And I stopped, even though I was in a real fucking hurry. I stopped, and I was like, "Oh wow, you enjoying Japan?" If you do meet me, the first thing I do is just ask you questions and try and make it not awkward, because a lot of people kind of just stop and go, "Oh," and it's really awkward, and they just stare and don't talk. But anyway, so I asked questions. I was like, "Oh, you enjoying Japan? You enjoying Shinjuku?" And he was like, "No, man, I've got to get out of here quickly. Everyone's just so sad." And I was like, everyone in Shinjuku sad? Like, well, they probably had a hard day of work. It's 5 p.m. Everyone's had a long day. And he's like, no, everyone's just so sad. I've got to get out of here. I was like, oh, okay, see you later then. And I fucking carried on running. So that was a rather weird encounter. Nice guy by all accounts. I don't know why everyone was so sad. I never found that out, but yeah. So encounters, certainly an interesting part of being a YouTuber. The nicest encounter, I think, was a guy who I was walking past Tokyo Disneyland back in March, and he just went, "Oh, Chris, I've just watched your video. It's great to see you." And we had a nice handshake and took pictures. It was lovely. So yeah, generally I like it. If you do meet me, just act normal, don't stare, and yeah, it'll be fun. And don't do the handshake where you don't let go. That's happened a few times. The handshake where you keep shaking the hand, and I'm looking down, going, "Can I get my hand back?" And yeah. Anyway, that's how it works. What have we got? Don't behave like a psycho if we meet you. Yeah, don't do that. I asked on Twitter, but what is your this is random. What is your real eye color? It's green. My color is green. When you met Rachel and Jun, who reached out to who, or was it an accidental meet? The first time I met Rachel and Jun, I think they tweeted me on Twitter. I think they tweeted me, and we just had a kind of backwards and forwards chat. And then, if you remember, I made a video called "British Guy Reads Hate Mail," which Rachel is in it. And I remember speaking to her and saying, like, "Oh, do you want to be in the video? It'll be quite fun." And she was in the video. And then we met up once at a meetup in Tokyo, very briefly. And the next time we met, we drove around the whole of Tohoku together for a whole week. Me, Rachel, and Jun and Sean. That was really fun. You find most YouTubers in Japan meet through Twitter. That's what I've found. Twitter seems to be the key to meeting. I've never really liked Twitter that much, but for meeting people, it is amazing. Yeah, highly recommend it. Can we do a Trump handshake and pull you towards us? Says Sean. No, don't ever do that. That won't turn out well. We're still the eye color. I swear, in different videos, your eyes look different colors. No, they're always green. All right. Let's see. So many questions to choose from. This is a good one. What is it like attending a Japanese cinema to watch a Western film? Are there subtitles? Are there other Westerners? There's seldom other Westerners in the Japanese cinema. Unless you're in Tokyo, there's usually like no other foreigners at all. There are subtitles, thank God. But usually you go in, it's just the film is normal, but it's got Japanese subtitles for Japanese viewers. The cinemas are great. They're nice and clean. You don't have any annoying twatty kids. Like in the UK, I remember getting into a fight once because I had some twats behind me just throwing popcorn, and it was horrible. I didn't actually like going to the cinema in the UK that much. You usually go in and end up in some sort of fight. But in Japan, it's nice. Everyone's shuts the hell up. It's nice and peaceful. It's not noisy. The only downside to the cinema in Japan, and it's a massive, massive fucking downside, is like all the movies come out about 6 months after, like 3 or 4 months after they've come out the rest of the world. So, for example, Dunkirk. At the moment, all my friends are like, "Oh, Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan, yeah, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, Dunkirk." And I really want to fucking see it because it looks amazing. But I can't because it's not out until the year 2036 or something shit here. And so all these really good movies, and the new Planet of the Apes movie, The War of the Planet of the Apes, really want to watch that. Not out until fucking the end of time. So it really sucks. It really is rubbish. And, a movie like Dunkirk, I'm not just going to illegally watch it online. Not that I'd do that anyway. It's breaking the rules and breaking the law. But I wouldn't do it because you wouldn't do it justice watching it on a screen in a crap resolution. You have to watch Dunkirk in a cinema, and I can't do that for 3 or 4 months unless I fly all the way back to the UK and watch it there. But yeah, it sucks. It really does suck. Then again, I suppose I could fly to Singapore and watch it, but that is a little bit extreme. And I've never felt like going to Singapore. As lovely as the people are, I've never felt like going. Don't know why. Unless if you've been to Singapore, give me a reason to go in the comment section. Maybe the food's good. I hear the weather's good, but yeah. Sorry, if you're from Singapore, I don't mean to disrespect Singapore. I'm sure it's a nice place, great people. Just, yeah. All right. Popcorn's still a thing, right? Yes, Peter. They do have popcorn in Japan, and in lots of flavours. They have cheesy popcorn here, not like in the UK where you can't ever get cheesy popcorn. It's rubbish. Seems to be the case for Japanese media. It seldom reaches the West, and when it does, it's many months later. Yeah, Japan is its own bubble, right? Japanese video games like the Yakuza series on PlayStation, for example, they don't come out until years later. There is a kind of bubble, isn't there, between Japan and the rest of the world. It's good and bad. But yeah, I really want to watch Dunkirk. Has anybody watched it? If you have, again, let me know if it's good. I'd love to know. Well, actually, this is a random bit of news. I'm actually thinking of hiring out a cinema room to watch Natsuki the movie in Tokyo as a kind of first screening, and then having like 200 viewers of the channel, 200 fans, maybe just come down and watch it in Tokyo. Something I'm still thinking about. Natsuki and I are kind of weighing it up at the moment. It would be quite fun, just as a kind of fan meetup as well. But at the same time, I don't know if Natsuki the movie is worthy of the cinema. We'll have to wait and find out. Not even I know if it's good enough yet. But it's an idea. It would be quite cool to have like 200 viewers come down, sit around Natsuki there. And yeah, I don't know. It's cool. We found out that renting a cinema room is about 80,000 yen, $800 for 200 people, which is, I think, it's pretty reasonable. Whether or not I would get people to pay, I don't know. We'll see. If I did that, it would be the end of September. So if you live in Japan, if you're one of the cool, lucky viewers who lives in Japan, you could be in luck. And if I do it, it'll be prioritized for people on Patreon first. So I'll make sure you get a seat. But anyway, still working it out. Although everyone in the comments section seems to be unanimously behind it. So yeah, perfect. Not a bad idea. Sounds awesome. Hell yeah, great idea. Dunkirk is for watching in IMAX, so the speakers rattle your core. Yeah, can't wait to watch it. The IMAX cinema in Sendai, amazing, brand new. It's like the best, most immersive cinema ever. Apart from, fuck me, if you go to Roppongi in Tokyo, they've got a 4D cinema, which is something I didn't even know existed. I've been there twice now, and in this 4D cinema, I've seen Rogue One and Harry Potter and the Cursed Dickhead, or whatever it's called, the new one, the one that was out last year. Can't remember what it was called, but anyway, really cool, really amazing. Like Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One, 4D cinema. First of all, the seats, they move like this. And when you're in like the TIE fighter space battle scenes, it's like being there. And on the chairs in front of you, they've got water blasters and air blasters. So if you're going through water in the film or something, they spray water. They've got like a odor, fucking hell. They've got a odor creation device, which is a phrase I've just made up. A thing that creates like the smell of the environment you're in, which could or can go quite wrong, I imagine. But anyway, and they've got the creepiest thing of all. Under the seats on these chairs that move on this 4D cinema, they've got this thing that I didn't even know about. It scared the fucking shit out of me, where something comes out of the seat and kind of grabs your legs. I don't quite know how it works. It felt like something came out the chair and actually like touches your legs, which may or may not be sexual harassment, but it's amazingly terrifying. If you're sitting in the chair, it rocks back, and then you have something grab your legs, spray you in the face with air and water, while the smell of smoke fills the room. It's quite an intense experience, and if you can go, it's in Roppongi in Tokyo. Amazing. I always thought 4D cinema was a bit of a gimmick, But when you've got the glasses on, you're in the chair, and all these things are happening. Fucking amazing. Super awesome. I wish the videos on the Abroad Japan channel could be enjoyed in 4D. Don't know how that would work. All right. Let's dive into the comments. I'm in Tokyo on September the 12th and to October the 3rd. Well, you could be in luck then, because that is exactly when the screening would be. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't here. Konami I says, I'll wait until it comes out on VHS. Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? That'd be amazing. I'd love to put the video out. I'd love to put Natsuki the movie out on VHS. It seems like the true way to enjoy it. And we could edit it to make it look like VHS, like on the Akihabara video, which I loved. I love that effect. The video itself, the Akihabara video that I released a week ago, wasn't that great. Let's face it. You and I know it wasn't that great. But that VHS effect, the 80s VHS effect, amazing. Limitless potential. Can't wait to see what else I can do with it. Costs a lot of money, though, getting that effect on. But worth it. All right. Watched Suicide Squad in 4D. Enjoyed it, but not as much as I hoped. Well, that's the Suicide Squad. Wasn't that good, was it? Nothing, no special effects can make that movie entertaining. Regarding the premiere of Natsuki the movie, I don't think it being worthy or not is a problem, really. It'll be about meeting you, Natsuki, and other viewers and exchanging some words. True, actually, it would be quite fun. I'm actually thinking of doing another fan meetup in August or early September for Natsuki the movie, to put in Natsuki the movie. So there's also that as well. I'm weighing it up. For the record, fan meetups are kind of intimidating. Fun, very fun, but intimidating. I've done it 2 or 3 times now, and the times that I've done it, I've ended up being surrounded by no less than about 15 to 20 people, and I feel like I have to. I don't know. I'm juggling like conversations with all different kind of people. It's really fun, but it's also very intimidating. I don't know. Fan meetups are kind of an interesting thing. I think if Natsuki was there, it'd be even more fun, because everyone could just flock to Natsuki. But yeah, we'll see. Actually, about the Akihabara video, what is the song you used at the beginning? I've been looking for it like crazy, can't find it. The song I used at the start of the Akihabara video was a song called what's it called? Don't know. But it's on pond5.com, which is where I get a lot of my royalty-free music. Pond5.com. It's called I don't know. Just type in electro music on Pond5 and it might come up. It should come up in the top 20 results. Electro music, pond5.com. You'll find it. And even Shazam won't tell me, says Sarah. Yeah, Shazam doesn't really work because royalty-free music, unfortunately. But that's kind of good, because I don't want lots of people knowing where I get all my royalty-free music. It's my secret trump card in making my videos good. All right. We've got lots of questions to get through. Let's dive in. Did you, as in me, did you truly enjoy teaching English, or was it more the job, or was it more that the job could get you? I've written the question wrong. This is a terrible, terrible thing. Did I enjoy being a teacher, or was it more about the experience of being a foreigner in Japan, and did it pay enough for me to survive and travel? Tough question. Did I enjoy teaching? I didn't the first year. I did the second year, and the third year I kind of didn't like it. The first year, I really didn't like teaching because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and the teachers didn't use me properly. The second year, I loved it because I got to create my own curriculum for the students. I had a comprehensive English class where I could make the entire curriculum, and the class was I made it so the curriculum was based on getting the students to do practical things like write a newspaper together, write articles to create a student newspaper, or make a short film, or act out a kind of a play. I tried to get the students doing practical things, but for the most part, I think I did enjoy teaching. It was an experience I will always remember and treasure. Working in the Japanese education system as a whole was very interesting. But by the second half of my third year, I was just about ready to jump out the window and be done with it. As for the salary, I got paid. How much is it? I think it's about $24,000 a year after tax that you get as an English teacher on jet. 24,000? No, I can't remember. It went up and down with inflation and the exchange rates. All I know is when I started as a teacher, it worked out as £28,000 in the UK. But then the yen went from here to here, and it went from being £28,000 to about £18,000, which is the difference between earning lots of nice money in the UK and earning basically fuck all. But whilst in Japan, I lived pretty comfortably, and I was able to travel a fair amount, and I had a credit card, which is always useful. So yeah, I think you'll live comfortably though. If you're an English teacher, you'll be fine. You'll get by. And yeah, I think no matter what, it's worth doing 1 or 2 years. It's teaching in Japan is a hell of an experience, and it will change you in many, many ways, as I've talked about many times before. So I won't go into that again. Okay. I base my curriculum around Frasier or Friends, says Peter. Well, Peter, it's probably a good thing you're not a teacher. Actually, no, Frasier. I can't even pronounce Frasier. Fuck, I'm not even going to say the word again. I can't even pronounce Frasier. Fuck. I can't pronounce it. But anyway, that could work as a curriculum. Friends, nah, don't know. I never really a fan of Friends. I think as an English teacher, you just got to make it your own in Japan and take the ball by the horns and just roll with it. It's a funny old thing. Most people I know who were teachers in Japan had a great experience, but there were some people who had really bad teachers they didn't get on with. It really is all about the teachers that you work with. They'll be the most important thing. Anyway, enough about teaching for now. Next question. I was wondering if you have any tips on how to lose weight, a subject that I can't really protest to be good about it. Yeah, I don't know. All right, five tips for losing weight. Number 1, intermittent fasting. Don't eat for, I think, 14 hours gap, 16 hours gap. So have your first meal at like 10 a.m. and then your last meal at 6 p.m. and then don't eat in between. That's supposed to help, and I find it did help with me, and that kind of a daily routine really does help. Second, cut out bread, rice, and pasta. Just loads of carbs. It'll make you really fat. Get rid of that, and it makes you really sleepy. I find it makes me really sleepy. Cut out carbonated soft drinks and sugared drinks. Get rid of that. That's a big one gone. Do 20 minutes of exercise every day, whether that's walking or jogging or just doing fucking press-ups. 20 minutes every day. I found that was the magic number. More than 20 minutes. If I told myself, fucking hell, right? Choking to death here. Talking non-stop for 40 minutes. Hard thing. I found, 20 minutes is the magic number. If you tell yourself to work out or do exercise for 20 minutes every day, I found I would definitely do it. If I said work out for 1 hour, I'd be like, too long, isn't it? Can't be bothered. But 20 minutes, I'd go, oh, that's not long. And then I'd do it. And then after 20 minutes, I'd keep going because I was enjoying it. So 20 minutes of exercise every day. And finally, substitute sweets and chocolate for fruit. I think, for example, I stopped eating sweets, some sort of candy, and instead I ate watermelon because it was just as sweet, but it was healthier. So and try not to do things too quickly. Like if you do those 5 things, you'll notice over a long period of time you'll lose weight. And drink lots of water and eat oatmeal. Oatmeal, that's the secret. Yeah. As Benjamin says, eat that oatmeal and honey. Don't drink your calories, says Mike. And exactly. It's the small things that make up a big difference over a long period of time with weight loss. And of course, watch the weight loss series from last year, from 2 years ago. Many people have watched that and lost untold sums of weight. So check that out. I don't know if they have. I'm making that up. I'll be traveling to Japan for a month, and I was wondering if there are any places off the beaten track with amazing scenery that are not tourist traps. That's from Sean. Sean, Tohoku region as a whole fits all 3 of those descriptions. It's off the beaten track. It's amazing scenery. It has amazing scenery. Literally no tourists at all, apart from Fox Village and Cat Island. Lots of tourists there. But go to Tohoku. Get the rail pass or rent a car if you've got a bit more cash to spend. And just drive around Tohoku. It's the most beautiful place. It's a shame that so many people don't see it. Actually, the Tohoku region, the tourist levels kind of really low and have remained low for the last few years, partly as a result of the Fukushima nuclear incident and the tsunami, but also just because the region as a whole has never had that much tourism. And it's a tragedy because it is, for my money, the best, most beautiful region in Japan. And that's why I promote it so heavily in the videos. But yeah, go to Tohoku, get out there. You could go to somewhere like Hakone, which is a popular tourist destination in between Osaka and Tokyo with a good view of Mount Fuji. But lots and lots of tourists, and it's not off the beaten track. So, yeah. It's a shame. Yeah, Tohoku is the key. I've made loads of videos about Tohoku. I should make a playlist actually or something to try and get people to go there and check it out and spend their money there. Are those square watermelons as crazily overpriced as I think they are? Says Raymond. Those square watermelons are as overpriced as you think. They're like $100, I think, and I've never bought one just because I wouldn't even know how to cut the damn thing open. It's incredible. I don't know how they do it. Honestly, it's just a square, a fucking cube watermelon. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, I'm not going to be buying one in a hurry. I think Simon and Martina, Eat Your Sushi, I think they did it. So check out their video. I think they got one, I'm not sure. I would never spend that much on fruit, even for a video showing off that. So yeah. Oh, I've got a video coming up as well. I read the other day in the news, unless it was a joke, KFC, my favourite KFC, are opening a unique type of restaurant in Sendai, the first in Japan, I think the whole world, a kind of boutique restaurant selling, it's a takeaway restaurant selling dishes, like microwavable dishes and oven dishes and stuff that you can take home. KFC, yeah, I can't really remember what it was. I remember thinking, that's very strange. It didn't look like a KFC restaurant in the artwork, but yeah, they're selling all this weird stuff, and shit, I really should have looked it up and thought about it a bit more. What I was going to say, KFC though, there's going to be another KFC video coming up. Look it up. I think it was on Rocket News 24, the news website, but just type in KFC boutique Sendai and it should come up. And yeah, I think KFC to go, KFC to go kind of thing, but the branding on it, it's not like the KFC logo. It's like it's in a kind of posh way. It looks really weird anyway, but it's bloody lucky that they should put it in Sendai because I'm here and I'm going to make a video about it and hopefully it'll go viral, fingers crossed, because I haven't had a viral video in about 3 or 4 months now and I need one, god damn it. All right, let's dive into the next question. How do you god, that was awkwardly phrased. Do you ever get people shouting at things like, do you ever get people shouting at you, fish and chips? Do you ever get people shouting fish and chips at you? People come up to me and say things like, would you like some tea and crumpets? Says Katie. Presumably, Japanese people know you're British and come up to you and say fish and chips and tea and crumpets. No, I haven't had that, but I have had, if you're a British person in Japan, you will get a lot of people coming up to you and saying, oh, the Beatles, oh, I love the Beatles, great, the Beatles, yeah, the Beatles. And it'll make you start to hate the Beatles after a few years of the word Beatles being used in every conversation. Another one I got when I arrived from my students was, oh, Daniel Radcliffe, oh, Harry Potter, because apparently I look like Harry Potter. I don't agree with that at all, but yeah, that's what I've had, Harry Potter and the Beatles. But no fish and chips and no tea and crumpets. That's quite an unusual one. Yeah. Let's see. Need to drink more water. Hydration. Japanese summers, absolutely brutal. Even with the aircon on, it's still so damn hot. Oh, God. Oh, look at me. I'm a wreck. No coffee for a week. And look at me. I'm nothing. God. Tell you what though, without coffee, without caffeine, my head isn't firing half as well as it should be. Somehow, cold water just doesn't cut it. I need my coffee. I thought about buying caffeine tablets, but one thing though, having cut out caffeine, I've been sleeping a lot better. So that's good. I don't know, maybe after another week I'll feel like a king, but I doubt it. All right. Crap. So many questions, but I don't know which ones I've already done. Thanks for introducing me to City Pop. Do you think you would make a video about music in Japan? I read somewhere that records are still really popular over there, says Miguel. Jeez, I can't talk. Says Miguel. I can't even say your name, Miguel. Sorry. City Pop. City Pop is the best thing ever. I put it in a post on Patreon a few weeks ago, but it's kind of 80s music, Japanese 1980s music, when music in Japan was far superior to what it is now, for my money. I try to avoid Japanese music these days because it's kind of, If you know a good Japanese band, share it with me. Tell me the secret. I like Blanky Jet City, which a rock band from the late 90s who I put in a lot of earlier videos. And other than that, I just like Japanese 80s city pop funk music. City pop is a genre of Japanese music when car stereos and radios and things became so small that people could comfortably take them and walk around with them, like a boombox kind of thing. People could take them around with them, and it created a new kind of culture where people would go out and sit in parks and listen to pop music in the city, hence the name City Pop. But yeah, go on YouTube, type in City Pop, and it's an amazing kind of genre of music that's heavily influenced like this new retro movement that's going on and vaporwave and stuff. But I love it. I sit and listen to city pop music compilations on YouTube all day long when I'm working, and I highly recommend it because you will feel like you're in the 1980s, which is always a good thing. But yeah, as for Japanese music, I can't make a video about it because I don't really know a whole lot about it. Pop idol groups in Japan don't really understand the culture. I forgot about this. I had a Japanese pop idol group called, can't remember their names. I had a Japanese pop idol group who are prominent in Akihabara. I had their manager message me a few months ago asking me to come down to Akihabara and make a video about them. And the thing that makes this band unique is they all have masks on their faces. They have like masks and helmets and hoods and shit on. I can't remember what they're called. Maybe one of you guys knows what they're called based on that description. But yeah, they wear these masks and stuff, and they wanted me to come down and make a video and interview them. But I was so terrified after I'd seen pictures of this kind of group that I didn't bother going down and doing it. I've had some weird stuff from people, some weird requests. Like I had a porn star. I think I mentioned a few months back. I had a porn star called Mao Hamasaki. I think Mao Hamasaki or something. Her manager got in touch and was like, "Will you interview her in one of your videos? We're trying to boost her profile. Can you put her in a video and boost her?" And I was like, "No, because I don't want to tarnish my reputation." On the one hand, I thought could be quite fun. On the other hand, I thought, I don't know. I saw my brand image rapidly going down the pan, going in the bin. So I didn't do that. But yeah, I think that's it. Here we go, you guys. Carmen Joshi. Yes, that's the name of the band. Carmen Joshi is the band. Yeah, they were the ones that asked me to make a video about them, and I was so terrified at the idea that I didn't even reply. So I feel guilty about that. Don't know. Are they worth interviewing? Carmen Joshi. Is it worth it? I don't know. I don't even know if they're famous or not. I already did one collaboration with a Japanese idol group this year, and I think it went pretty well. But it's not something I want to get in the habit of. But don't know. Could try it. Google them. Check them out. Carmen Joshi. Speaking of Japanese YouTubers, have you met Kizuna Ai yet? No, I haven't. I haven't met any Japanese YouTubers apart from PDR-san, who's a good lad, and I have met no one else. I've seen them all when I was at the Tokyo YouTube Space. I've seen a lot of Japanese YouTubers there, like Hikakin, the super duper top YouTuber guy who just sits in his room and makes rubbish videos reviewing products and doing voice percussion, beatboxing. He's good at beatboxing, but his review video is pretty boring. So yeah, no, I kind of don't watch any Japanese YouTubers. I don't watch any YouTubers. That's a bit of a secret, that. I had a meeting with YouTube a few months ago with a YouTuber, with someone that works at YouTube, and they were like, "Oh, who's your influencers? Which YouTubers do you watch?" And I went, no one. And because I don't actually watch any YouTubers. It's a funny old thing. I don't know much about YouTube at all. Well, I make my videos and then I fuck off and sit at McDonald's. So, I don't actually know a whole lot about YouTube, and it constantly amazes me how many crap YouTube channels seem to have millions of subscribers, millions of views. I really don't understand YouTube at all. So yeah, I really should do some more research on it. But yeah, I don't watch YouTube. I try to avoid it. I do watch a lot of TV. Recently watched Silicon Valley, amazing, 10 out of 10. Game of Thrones, loving that again, and yeah, Stranger Things, watched that recently. I kind of watch TV, but YouTube, nah, I avoid it. Which I shouldn't do, really, should I? I don't know. If there's any YouTube channels you recommend, let us know. I think the only YouTube channels I do follow are kind of educational channels, like TEDx, TED Education. I don't know. I don't know why I watch YouTube. I think I'm a bit of a snob. I'm a bit of a vlogger snob. I find it difficult to watch vloggers because usually the videos have no purpose. There's no educational benefit. It's just someone kind of talking about their life, right? It's just someone walking down the street going, oh, guys, I'm going to buy a sandwich and I'm going to eat some lunch and I'm going to film it and show you. And whilst I kind of do that in a way, I still like to think I think about it in advance and make it educational. So I don't know. I'm a vlogger, but then I try not to be a vlogger, and I find it difficult to watch vloggers as a result. Anyway, that's enough ranting and raving about vloggers. Shit, it's 10 o'clock. All right, crikey, that was a quick hour. Talking so much, the hour went like that. All right, tell you what though, 5 minutes. Any questions you guys have, shoot, and I'll answer them. Interrogate me as thoroughly as you can while I drink this water. Suntory. All right, what we got? I love PDR. His annoying customers videos are great. Yeah, PDR, he's really good at satire. He's half British, so he seems to have ingrained a British sense of humour within. And yeah, really nice guy. I've met him 2 times and we got on really well. PDR, check him out if you don't know him. And if you're learning Japanese, you can watch his videos, which are in Japanese with English subtitles, and it's an educational learning experience. Are you interested in football in Japan? No, I'm afraid not. Not much of a football person. When I was in the UK, I worked in an office where absolutely everyone loved football, and I often used to lie and pretend that I liked football just to try and fit in. But it was a lie. I don't like football. But Manchester United seem to be extremely popular in Japan. Even the school that I worked at, in the middle of nowhere, all the students, Manchester United fans. Amazing. I couldn't believe it, really. How even out there in the middle of nowhere, they all knew Manchester United and love them. How bad is the transition from British weather to Japanese weather, says Christopher Flynn. The transition is horrific. I still remember the first day I arrived. I landed at Narita Airport. I stepped out of the airport and I fucking nearly, it was like a wave of heat. You know when you open an oven, you're cooking like a chicken or a turkey or any oven thing, anything that goes in a damn oven. Open it, like when you open the oven, you get that heat wave hit you. That is exactly what it's like when you step out the airport in the middle of summer. And I'd never experienced humidity on that scale, except for maybe Shanghai. I've experienced it there. But the heat is horrific, and summer in Japan is not fun. Don't ever travel in Japan in summer. It's not a fun experience. You will have to drink a ton of water, a ton of Pocari Sweat, and you'll need a lot of change of clothes to, well, you're going to be sweat drenched. So you're going to need lots of clothes. Don't ever travel in August and July or June, unless you really have to. What's something that's extremely popular in Japan but not back in your home? Christ, that's a hard question. Pachinko. If you know pachinko, that's extremely popular in Japan, but it's not even invented in the UK, thank God. I'm assuming most of you guys know what pachinko is. The game where you have like little ball bearings going around this machine over and over, and you win the ball bearings, and then you turn the ball bearings into money. Absolute crap. I played it with Natsuki once. Somehow he actually won some money. He won like $20 because he's good at it. He used to play it. But yeah, pachinko, we don't have that in the UK, thank God. And my ex-girlfriend, a few years ago, Japanese, her dad lost like $20,000 or something playing pachinko and had to borrow money from the Yakuza. And then it all got really bad, from what I understand. But yeah, pachinko, horrible thing. Google it if you don't know what it is and prepare to have your mind blown. And yes, amazing. Just found the Pond 5 track. It's called Super 80s. It is, well done. You found the track. This is the track you wanted to find. That is the track at the start of the Akihabara YouTube video. The soundtrack Super 80s on Pond 5. Good research, well done. You briefly mentioned that cheese is really rare there. Is it really that bad? As a lover of cheese, that would genuinely concern me, says Jordan. Yeah, cheese is really rare here, I'm afraid. There are a few foreign good shops. There's one in Sendai Station, actually, that sells a decent amount of cheese. They've got Brie, for example, which is awesome, and Camembert. But it's like 5 times what you would pay, 3 or 4 times what you would pay in, like, Europe or North America. So it's kind of a rare treat. If I do buy cheese, it's as a rare treat, and I buy Brie. The only cheese in Japan that's good is the Camembert from Hokkaido. It's pretty good. I used to eat that every day with my chicken salad, and that's probably why I have the health problem, why I can't drink coffee, actually. But yeah, Camembert is quite good, albeit not as good as French Camembert. But yeah, cheese is hard to come by in Japan. It's probably just as well. I think it's, if it was easily accessible, it wouldn't do me any favors. I don't get why Japan and a lot of other Asian countries can be so clean and why places in North America and Europe look like a dumpster. The New York Metro is disgusting, says Raymond. It's just culture, Raymond. I think in Japan, Japan's a collectivist culture. They're taught not to ever litter. They're taught to always think about other people around them, and no one ever litters. It's amazing. Like, the cleanliness is disturbingly good. You know, when you walk down the streets in most countries and there's chewing gum stuck to the pavement, never seen it once here. I don't think I've ever seen it once in Japan. The streets absolutely spotless. It's amazing. Just because of the culture, the people, the way people are brought up is to respect the environment and stuff. And yeah, it's something that I wish the world would learn from Japan and actually do. Have you ever seen Milo in Japan? Milo in Japan? No, I haven't. What is Milo in Japan? Indulge me. What is it? Don't Japanese people like cheese? The reason cheese is in Japan is because Japanese people are kind of lactose intolerant. For example, when we went to the UK and did filming, Natsuki's wife ordered a cheese platter. She ate the cheese platter, and then her and Natsuki returned home together. I stayed in the UK. But from what I understood, she was sick for the 12-hour flight all the way back home to Japan from the UK as a result of eating all the cheese. So yeah, Japanese people can eat cheese, but it has to be in small amounts. So if you do order a cheese board in Japan, it is laughably, pitifully small. It's like fucking tiny slices of cheese. It does suck. All right. Last questions. How hard is it to find basmati rice? I've heard that the government bans all exports of all types of rice. I don't think that's true. I think you can buy basmati rice. Yeah, I think you can. Probably in a foreign goods shop. Don't know, actually. That's interesting. Milo, it's a drink. It's popular in Australia. No, I haven't seen Milo. I don't know. No Milo, I'm afraid. Never seen it. Are you going to help Natsuki get famous and show him how to make videos, says Chris. I'm not going to show him how to make videos because it would take me about 5 years to teach him how to do it. He's so awful when it comes to technology. He hasn't got an Instagram account, no Twitter. He's got Facebook. It took me 1 year to convince Natsuki to make a Facebook account, and he still doesn't know how to use it. So to get him sitting down at a computer, editing and making videos is about as likely as Iggy Azalea making a song that is good. So it's not going to happen probably in our lifetime. I am going to help Natsuki get famous, though. That's like my big goal, and I'm really going to try. That's my real aim behind Natsuki, the movie. You know, I want to try and get him some serious attention and get him the fame he deserves, and has always wanted and craved. As a fame, yeah, he's always wanted to be famous. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, I'm going to try. Last questions. How well could you function in Japan knowing no Japanese, says Jordan. I'm actually making a video about that later in August. But to cut the long story short, you can operate very well in Japan without knowing Japanese. You can do anything, actually. You can travel any place in the country without knowing a single word of Japanese. And actually, you'll find English is on pretty much every sign and everywhere in Japan. It's really good. I traveled around France and Italy a little bit for like a week a few months ago. And yeah, there's more English in Japan than there was in France and Italy. So that should be encouraging. So I don't think it's an issue at all. Don't let it stop you or get in your way. Just reposting the question since I actually have something almost ready for you illustration wise. Where can I post it for you so you get to see it? Says Sarah. Sarah, if you have an illustration or anything you want to send me, send it to my email address, which I think is on the YouTube page. It's cmbroad44@gmail.com. That's like the top secret email address. If you have anything you want to send there, send it there and I'll get back to you. What do you think of actual speaking language translation phone apps as opposed to learning properly, says David. The translation apps really don't work that well. I saw a video of my friend Angela with her video. I think if you know Internationally Me, the YouTube channel, she did a video where she walked around Tokyo, Asakusa, with a little device and she would speak English and it would translate into Japanese. It was quite impressive, but I think she must have already known the key phrases that you could already speak. I don't think language translation phone apps still aren't there yet. They really aren't. And when I was a teacher, a lot of my students used to do their homework that I'd set them. They used to, rather than actually writing English, they would just write in Japanese, stick it into some shitty Yahoo translator or something, and then just copy it out. And it was utter crap. I could always tell it had been translated, and I lectured them with great... I can't think of a word to say. No, I can't think of a word. I lectured them aggressively. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. I lectured them aggressively to never use a phone translation app again, because you know when it's been translated automatically on an app. All right, one last question. But there is no one last question. Intensity. That was the word I was looking for, Jordan. Yes, I lectured them with intensity, not to use a phone app. Good. All right, guys. So thanks for joining us on this fine night. It's been a good little chat. Sorry if my brain hasn't been firing 100%. It's the absence of caffeine. It's a difficult thing. Try and do it yourself. I think you'll find you'll sleep better, but the reward of sleeping better does not outweigh... It's not, yeah. Oh God, things aren't happening in my head. It's awesome. Look, I can't talk. This is what happens when you don't drink caffeine for 1 week. Your head just shuts down and nothing works. Or it could be because it's 10:30. God knows, and I'm dehydrated. But anyway, guys, there'll be a video out, the Patreon video out in 2 or 3 days. I think on Tuesday, about how I produce a video, the Patreon exclusive video. About how I produce videos from start to finish. So keep an eye out for that. And there'll also be another video out next week on the Abroad Japan channel, which I'm still deciding on. I still can't work out which one to do. I think I'm going to go for that Japanese English video with the sperm shop. I think that'll be quite fun. So yeah. But for now, guys, wherever you are in the world, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching and watching me chat in an inaudible, incomprehensible voice. God. It'll be interesting. We'll see in the next live show. I will not have had caffeine for about a month. So I'll be able to fill you in on what it's like not having caffeine for a month. And I might make a series of videos about it. We'll see. But yeah. Thanks, guys. Wherever you are in the world, have an awesome weekend. Make the most of it. And I will see you in a week. Godspeed. And maybe I should do a competition and give this out to the winner. This rare item. Nah, it's too embarrassing. I'm going to keep it. The real thing I'm going to keep this for is putting in my loose change. I'm going to fill it with loose change and then hide it in the cupboard. So no one will ever see this goddamn picture ever again. Don't screenshot it.